Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Franco's World, episode 98. Thanks for stopping by. Today's guest, long time coming, very esteemed guest, award winning actor,
Oh.
childhood friend, Parkersburg icon. Ladies and gentlemen, I have my friend Cody Hively on the show. Cody, how are you, buddy?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Where can the people follow you at, bud?
Cody Hively at Twitter, Cody Hively at Instagram, Cody Hively at TikTok. Trying to still get famous.
Yep.
I won't stop.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right, you can go follow him there. Very funny guy, very talented guy, and about to make some big moves out to LA. But before we get into all that, let's chat about our West Virginia upbringing. And
Oh.
I got to share with you a couple childhood stories, like real quick, that you don't even like remember. We had a chat about this the other weekend.
Okay.
We were out at the coffee bar and
Mhm.
chatting it up. And do you remember that time in high school? This was like the 2-week period where you went to church and and there was like a yard sale or garage sale at the church, and you and I went around and picked up like the weirdest clothes. Like we were thrifting before it was cool, and we picked up these clothes from the 80s and we wore them. Like we texted each other like, "Hey, you going to wear your outfit?" "Yeah, I'm going to wear my outfit." And we wore our stupid little 80s outfits to high school. You were like a sophomore, I was a freshman or something like that. And
Oh.
I'll never forget this. Like the clothes were so bad, like the brown leather jackets that smelled like Marlboro Reds. They were
Oh
so
my
bad.
God.
It was so bad. You had this Ralph Lauren polo on, looked like Carlton. You looked so dumb. I looked stupid. I think one of us had a pancake hat. And some kid comes up to you. I think it was I think it was Killian, if you remember Killian.
Yep.
I think Killian comes up to you at your locker. This was like we saw each other before school started because we wanted to like take a picture and be funny. And he goes, "What are you wearing?" And you go, "Clothes." You just this straight face. You're like, what are you talking about? This outrageous outfit. I'm wearing clothes. What's the big deal?"
Hey, I knew Killian. I knew he was going to set himself up to roast me. So, I was just like, dude, that is so. I cannot. I honestly totally forgot about that. I remember that day, though, at the church
Mhm.
because there's a picture of me and Josh Enoch on like he's on like a unit he's like on like a tricycle and I'm like on my skateboard. And I remember that day we were just going on and I bought a trench coat that day too.
Yeah.
I bought like a dusty old trench coat from like someone's grandpa from like the 1950s,
Yeah, he
and
died
it's
in it.
still yeah, dude, he definitely died in it because it smelled just like him.
Man, dude, you see like the craziest like I don't know. But the thing is like growing up in Parkersburg, like we could wear an outfit like that and people would be like, "Oh, that's just like those guys like being goofy." You know, like cuz people at our
Yeah.
school would wear like Cookie Monster pants and scrubs and like that was normal.
Oh yeah, carrying a bag of Doritos. Like I remember those chicks. You
Do you
know.
remember people wearing like camo basketball shorts and boots that went up to their knees? Like do you remember that?
You're talking about like the entire defensive line of the football team that
Yeah.
drive also the S10s and
Yeah.
like the
It's all
Ford
the Chevrolet
Rangers.
S10s. Yeah. It's S10s, bro.
Yeah.
You and I, we didn't play football at the same time, but I remember like I would wear like a collared shirt on game day, like a white collared shirt, and like one of the country dudes was like, "What are you wearing, dude?" Like I'm like clothes. Like I got the line from you. I was like, "Clothes? What
Yeah.
are you talking about?"
Yeah. We're wearing something that's normal to wear, not shit kickers. And my dad's old pair of camo cargo shorts that he wore when he was fishing at the Ohio River when he was like 12 years old.
Yep. Man, growing up in West Virginia, man, we see some weird stuff. Um, we're also because of like I don't know. West Virginia's weird because it's mostly white, but then you have you and I that are kind of like this ethnically ambiguous type color, like it's just an olive skin. And I'm sure we've been called many different things, but you're Native American too, right?
Well, here's a story. So I thought I was literally until I did the 23andMe probably 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, I had the story for you. So I'm primarily German and Irish, and I knew on my mom's side, um, I have a little Italian on my dad's side, but mostly, like I said, German and Irish.
Yeah. Well, you look
And
like
this,
Pacino and Stallone, so you are Italian.
dude, that's a great compliment. That's a great compliment. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But so the story was that my great 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 whatever Irish grandfather married or married a Cherokee woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole story. That we're Native American. That's why we have
Yeah,
a
quote
darker
unquote married. Yeah.
complexion. Oh, but the story gets way better. It gets so much better. So I do my DNA test, and it turns out instead of like that small percentage of Native American, I'm like 3% African American. And it blew my mind.
What do you mean by African American? Are you from like northern Africa, like the Caucasus
Well,
regions?
dude, okay, so at first it like you know how like 23andMe will update, I don't even know how that works, but it updates like your genetic region
Yeah.
like, as it gets more people in the gene pool, I guess. I don't know how it works. But I was like at first I think it was like East Africa and dude, I shit you not.
What is
I
that Egypt over there?
It's Egypt. It is Egypt. It literally, I swear to you, I didn't update it and I got back on and I'm like 3% Egyptian.
You
Like,
know what the
what?
craziest thing about this whole story is, Cody? Is that I've
What?
never been wrong ever in my life. Because I said Egypt over there and I nailed it. I'm
You
trying to
did.
remember the last time I've been wrong.
Dude, I can't remember,
I
honestly.
can't remember. No, but that is crazy that you're like East Africa. I mean, like, and I've only met one Egyptian guy in college. He's a really cool dude, but now I know, technically, you're kind of an Egyptian guy.
No, well, I'll say I am very white. That is the primary uh genetic pool
No, we
in
got we
me.
got a
But
little. We're like olive skin. We got a little color on us. I mean, dude, people thought I was. People asked if I was Mexican. People have asked if I was Cuban. They've asked if I've been everything under the sun. You know what I mean?
yeah. Dude, okay, so you know there's bodegas all over New York City and they're always ran by Arabic people.
Hmm.
And for some reason, every time this happened probably out of 50% of the time I went to bodegas, they always ask, "Oh, hey, bro, do you speak Arabic?" Like, apparently I look Arabian. Apparently I look Arabian. I
I don't know how you say yes in Arabic, but I know how to say thank you. All my neighbors in college were Arabic.
How do you say it?
Shukran.
Shukran. Hmm.
Shukran. They would give me rides. I'd be hungover on Sunday mornings, and they'd just see me walking down the street, and they'd be like, "Do you need a ride? You need a ride?" And I was like, yeah, "Shukran, Hassan. Shukran. Yes." And then he would give me a ride to my car, and I'll never forget this, bro. So I graduated college, and I'm walking in my complex, like putting my stuff in my car. I'm leaving, and he was like, "You graduate? Did you graduate today?" And I was like, "Yeah, I graduated today." And he goes, he shook my hand and he looked me dead in the eyeballs, stared into my soul, and blessed me with whatever Arabic gods may be. And he said, "Best of luck on the next part of your journey."
Oh
Wow.
my god. Oh my god. You're
Wow.
gonna live forever.
I mean, I might. I don't know how that works. You're Egyptian. Maybe you could answer that for me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm like, I mean, by pretty sure, I mean, I'm definitely Native American, like pretty heavy Native American.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have the skin tone, like you said,
Yeah.
like the olive skin, and you kind of have the look too. I feel like,
Well,
you know,
you can say it, Cody. I have a big nose. You can say that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not it's not horribly big, but
No, it's prominent is the correct word.
it fits your face though.
That's the thing. I don't know if I could ever get a nose job because it doesn't necessarily fit my face. Now,
I,
there are some old caricatures of like the Cleveland Indians Indian with tan skin, and I kind of look like the guy.
you definitely look Native American. You look the part.
Yeah.
You look
Well,
the
in the
part.
sunlight, you can see like the red specks in like my skin, like like they say
Really?
like red skin. Like yeah, 1000%, bro. Not even close.
Oh. Yeah, yeah, so it makes sense because I don't have that.
Yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, what you have like whatever like Egyptians have, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I just know where the stars are at all times, and
is that what they were known for? Was the stars?
dude, the pyramids, man.
Oh yeah, that was them. But like,
Yeah.
Jewish people built that. So maybe you're
Y-
Jewish.
Okay, but okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I was a kid, I was so self-conscious about my nose. My mom was literally gonna let me get a nose job. When I was
At
like,
like 14.
yeah. She's like, I was gonna get my boobs reduced, but instead I'll use that money to get your nose smaller. And I was so close. I remember she got like the pamphlets and everything because
Wow.
I was that self-conscious about it. Yeah.
I go through stages with that too in terms of like my face, and then I'll hear somebody say like, "Dude, you need to relax. It's really not that bad." And then I just see photos of like every celebrity under the sun just have a pristine nose, and I'm just like, "Ah, why can't I?"
Oh, dude. Yes. It's especially like all the male actors. Like I'll be watching like a TV show and then I'll like just Google them and then it's them on the red carpet and just chiseled jaw, just blue
Yeah.
eyes, just
Well, I've
perfect
actually looked this
eyebrows.
up like not that long ago because I had an episode, about my whole, not a literal episode, but just like an anxiety episode about my looks, and it's like, oh yeah, Ryan Gosling had one, and so had one, and I'm like, oh, they're just like us, but they have money.
Yeah,
That's really it.
pretty much. I mean, that's a big thing, man. It's I feel like, a lot of Instagram models when they like
I don't believe any Instagram models at all. I'm putting this out there to the universe. I'm never gonna date an Instagram model.
it's probably smart. It's
Yeah,
probably smart. But I kind of get what they're saying. Like they get a lot of hate, but that's how they make money. They post like flattering photos of themselves.
yeah. Would you
But
see the
they
one of
also
of Khloe Kardashian that everyone made a whole meal out of?
was that the one where she was trying to get it removed from the internet?
Yeah, and she didn't look bad. She looked
I
good.
I don't I
That whole
mean
that whole that whole Kardashian clan is a whole thing. We don't have to delve into that.
that is a black hole. If we dive into that for sure.
I am curious though. I do have to ask this question about your acting spark and the acting inspiration because I remember, us being in college and then like I was walking to like econ test that I was gonna bomb and I saw you and I'm like, hey, what's up? And you're like, oh, double majoring or like I'm thinking about switching my major to drama. And I was like, dang, I didn't even know you were into
Mm.
that stuff. Like what made you want to switch to be into that?
Well, the Kardashian family.
Ah, I see.
No, 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 no. Well, I don't know. So there's a book. There's a book that really just changed my way of living and thinking, and it's called The War on Arts by Stephen Pressfield
Mhm.
and Zachary Wilcoxon. Shout out to Zach. Actually, recommended it to me
He's a good
because I was
guy.
in a weird place. Yeah, he's a great guy. I was a weird place in my life. Because my biggest takeaway was like my passion,
Mhm.
and at the time I just transferred from Wesleyan where I was running track.
That's true. I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that you were also an incredible athlete.
Well, I
Decathlon,
wouldn't
right?
say incredible, but I was I did the decathlon because it gave me a full ride. If I was just to do long jump, I would have had to pay some money out of pocket. But I was like, all right, fine, I'll run the mile. I'll learn to pole vault. Ugh,
Best athletes in the world, decathletes.
it's true. It's very true. Ashton Eaton, dude, he was incredible. But yeah, so after I transferred to WVU, I was in the exercise physiology program,
Mhm.
and I was still actually rehabbing my knee because I re-tore my ACL
Right.
in high jump practice at Wesleyan. So I was coming off of my fourth surgery, um, my second ACL reconstruction, and I happened to stumble across the most passionate, most intelligent, just most motivated physical therapist, probably definitely the nation, if not the planet.
Wow.
He has all these certifications for everything, and this guy was just incredible. He did this like full mobility, and he was able to like because I was in anatomy at the same time I was in physical therapy, so it was kind of cool because I wanted to go to physical therapy school. So I was like, it was almost like a free shadowing. I
Yeah.
mean, shadowing's free, but it was just kind of like a way for me to see if I want to continue to do this.
Mhm.
And he would do this mobility stuff with my leg, and he was able to point out like each part of my body and like the movement and stuff, and which is like not all physical therapists remember all that stuff. Like you don't remember everything in anatomy, but he did. He remembered everything.
Yeah.
And he would always go to Jamaica like every so often and get these necklaces. And if you and him like made some sort of connection, oh, Justin Deskovich, that's his name. Incredible person.
Mhm.
But anyway, so he would go to Jamaica and get these like necklaces and wristbands, and if like you guys made a decent like a if we made a close connection, he would like consider you his one of his disciples, quote unquote.
Wow. So you were in a cult.
Um, Pretty much a physical therapy cult. But the biggest point I'm trying to make is passion, and this man had passion the same way he had for me, like a previous athlete trying to get back to normal.
Yeah.
So I'm doing like physical stuff as he had with the grandma that had a kink in her neck from a fender bender. He
Right.
had the same energy, the same enthusiasm, and the same just desire to get you back to normal.
Yeah.
And not every physical therapist has that. Like I've had multiple physical therapists, and it's not to say that my previous ones are bad, but this guy was just elite. I
Yeah.
mean, he's nationally known. So for me to stumble across this and find that in a place of my life where like I was trying to find where my passion was, I realized that like my passion is not in physical therapy.
Right.
My passion lies somewhere else.
Mm. So you're doing your meetings with this doctor or physical therapist. It's almost like you grew to appreciate excellence in any form.
Yeah,
So that's what you were
excellence.
searching for. You were searching for what can I be excellent in? Because I see excellence in physical therapy, and I don't think I'm that.
Yeah, yes, that and also the repetitiveness of it. Um, I always knew I was never going to have an office job, but I just knew the way I saw physical therapy is like, oh, I'm going to be able to work with athletes, and that's all
Yeah.
I'm going to do.
Yeah,
But
you're like, I'm gonna be running out of the tunnel with the Steelers. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
exactly, yeah, dude, that was my dream, and that's tough because half the country that of kids that study in physical therapy probably want to do that. They
You
won't.
know what's
Everyone's
crazy, Cody, is that like not half the kids. I'd probably say like even more than half the kids in the country that have access to a camera probably want to be an actor or a comedian also.
that's yes, that's
So we
that's
also
true.
have that.
Hmm. That is very true. But I guess the way I see
We have picked
our
no, because I'm right
profession.
there. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you because I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I got into college, and I thought maybe I'd want to be a journalist, and everybody who's ever written a B grade paper in college thinks it can be a great investigative journalist, like a real hard hitting question type of guy.
Yeah,
And then I was like, oh, no, I'm a comic, and then everybody and their brother wants to be a comic, so I'm right there with you.
yeah. And I think when I decided I wanted to be an actor, I thought of several things. I was
Okay,
like, okay, I want to do something that's competitive. I want to like, I think of it as my sport. I want to do something that's competitive.
for sure.
I want to do something that I can do for the rest of my life, and I want to do something that's forever changing and never constant. It's not an office job. I'm doing something that's new characters, new roles, new scenes, new
Yeah,
sets. That was like my biggest thing.
yeah, that makes sense, man.
And not to mention, I was going through some personal stuff
Yeah.
that also motivated me at the time.
Motivation comes in
Eh,
many forms. It doesn't matter how it's there. It's just there, and that motivated you to make this decision. Now, what necessarily are there any performances that you maybe revert back to, something that inspires you, or maybe an actor that just had an unbelievable performance in a role or something like that you're just like, wow, I want to be like that, or maybe like I aspire to be like them.
yeah, definitely. I know this is the shot of the stars because Joaquin Phoenix is one of the greatest of all time, but
Yeah, man.
I think his range um, is one thing that really impresses me, and he's easily one of my favorite actors. I mean, we could talk about The Master with Paul Thomas Anderson. We could talk about Her with Spike Jonze. We could talk about the Joker. I mean,
Yeah,
it's his resume and even his younger stuff. I mean, we're talking about the Gladiator. Like the dude was like, I think he's in his like, I want to say like early to mid 20s,
yeah,
and he killed that. Like he was that little pestering prince, that
yeah,
just
the
he
thumbs
played
down
it
guy.
so
Yeah,
well. Yes, the thumbs down guy. And he played it so well.
yeah.
Yeah, I think him is definitely what motivated me. Okay, okay, actually no, he is what motivates me and what inspires me. But I'll tell you the moment that actually
This is
made
what
me
I've been
realize
searching
I
for.
wanted
I've
to
been
be an
trying to
actor.
fish for this.
Yes, and you fish it out, and it's so corny. It's
No, it's not
Jennifer
corny.
Lawrence. It's Jennifer Lawrence in the Hunger Games when she goes back to her sector
Okay.
and sees it completely demolished. I think what that's
You know
I don't
what,
even know
bud?
this.
I've never seen a single second of any of those, so you're taking the reins on that.
Okay, well, I don't know. What inspired me is like the capture, like how she captured me in that moment.
Uh huh.
I was because I saw it in theaters, and she walks out of like whatever, and she sees her sector, her home, her community, and it's completely demolished.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I remember thinking I wasn't thinking about anything else besides what she was feeling and like how she felt about seeing her
Hmm.
community just completely shattered. I wasn't thinking about, oh, I had to go clean my room that day, or I had to go do this, or I
Yeah.
had, I need to go get a workout in still. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I wasn't thinking about any stress I had going on. I wasn't thinking about any like personal issues with my family.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about Katniss Everdeen and her seeing her sector completely demolished.
Mhm.
And that moment I was like, wow, this is so like it's crazy that not just the actress, but everything and together is like was able to give me an escape because I'm pretty sure I can't remember what I was going through, but I was stressed out that day, and I just remember like, damn, I like forgot about what I was stressed out about in that moment because
Yeah.
I was so like captured by the moment in the movie.
Right. I'm surprised you're not more of a McConaughey guy.
Oh, I like McConaughey. Okay, I like McConaughey. We're talking about Dallas Buyers Club. I mean, that's a classic. I
Yeah,
mean,
and that's I think that's a true testament to character acting and his ability to really commit to the role. He lost so much weight for that role and really
yeah.
wanted to do the story justice. How intense are you in your process when you have a new character? Are you
Very
walking around
intense.
and talking like them or whatever?
It just depends on what the character requires.
Okay.
Um, Now, if it's like you said, if it's more of like a character type, if I'm playing like something that has like some sort of physicality, some sort of like I say, I have an accent
Hmm.
or some sort of dialect. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good practice to like walk around in it and stay in the skin.
Yeah.
Um, my Now when I was in Six Bullets, mostly what I did was I just did a lot of this imagination research and created the backstory from birth to the point that was happening right then and there. I think that's very important.
And for those that don't know, Six Bullets is
That is a short film that you can watch on YouTube that was produced by Unpeeled Productions. Shout out Khalil, Abby, and Carter, my boys in Orlando, Florida. They make great stuff.
I
Um,
watched the that's not the one with the I watched the Interstellar type movie.
oh, that was Titans. That's
Yeah,
with
I
my
watched
buddy,
that.
yeah, Lee Giat, and we did that. That was I think 2 years before that we did
Six
that.
Bullets was before the Titan.
No, Six Bullets was after.
Oh, okay.
So Six Bullets was I think 2 years after. Um, but it's crazy to watch both those films and see how much I've grown and the choices I would have made in certain moments.
Yeah.
I mean it's all about growing and learning. But yeah, I mean it's the biggest thing about a character is you have to create these moments and these thoughts even before you get on screen because if you're not truly thinking and having like a genuine thought that's within the character, it's the camera reads it all.
Yeah.
Now, if you're on stage, you might be able to get away with it a little bit, but the thing about the stage is you're living it the whole time. So, camera, it's on and off, and it's so up close and personal. You have to genuinely experience these emotions and have these thoughts.
Yeah.
But it's like a 4x6. It's like so close to your face, and if you're lying, the camera's gonna pick it up. I mean,
That's
it's
very ironic you say that because I've always thought, and I'm obviously not an actor at all, have no aspirations to do that, but uh, I've always thought that like when people do the theater stuff, that's like the more true to type aspect of acting, and then you get on camera and you can sort of like fake it a little bit, but I guess it's completely backwards.
well, the thing about theater is you're truly living in it, and like as soon as you step on stage, you're in the character.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's definitely not more faking. I'm just saying that your mental like thought line, let's say, on stage, like let's say like something on stage like messes up, like something falls or something.
Yeah.
You like I feel like you have more space to have like a thought like, oh, that happened, even though whatever you're supposed to live in the character,
Hmm.
but like on camera, it's it's action cut, so you can start this thought process. and then go into it. What I'm saying is pretty much is like the minimal things you pick up on. I mean, like, obviously theater, it's not as much facial expressions,
Yeah.
or it's you're experiencing the emotion throughout the body,
Mhm.
as if you're on camera, depending on the shot. If it's a close up, you know you, obviously you want to experience the body, because that'll still read through the camera.
Uh-huh.
But you're you really want to make sure that you're not lying at all. You're really experiencing what's going on, you know, in that moment. Because theater, it's always about the other character. It's always about your scene partner. That's what it's always about. It's what you're trying to get from them. It's what you want from them.
Uh-huh.
And you're trying to like you're using tactics to like overcome these obstacles to get what you want from the other character. That's
Mhm.
that's just cut, right, dry. That's what you do. And theater is more where it's because, like, you might, depending on the situation on a set, you might have a stand-in, so you're still obviously experiencing that with that stand-in. Usually, I mean, a good set won't do that, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it's happened before.
Well, that was very insightful. I mean, I had no idea. I had it backwards this whole time. Now, you've acted overseas, you've acted in commercials, you've acted in various short films, or you actually on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. You told me that, and that was really cool. That's a
Mm,
great show.
yeah.
Now, this is all New York based stuff, but you're about to make the big move, the big time actor move. You're going to be an LA guy soon.
Yes.
Now, what
Yeah.
made you want to switch from one coast to the other?
So the big saying is, you go to New York to get good, you go to LA to get famous. Now, I don't
Ah,
really care if I get famous. That's
so
not what
that's
I'm
not a
doing it
goal.
for.
So what is a goal for you then?
To be successful, to
Ah,
work,
okay.
to work. That's my goal.
To make a career out of being a professional actor.
Yes.
I think that's a very good goal. I think that's a great
Now,
goal.
now if that comes with fame, that's fine. But my goal is to not be famous. My goal is to work.
Hmm.
And um, I moved to New York with the idea of doing more theater. I think a theater actor can translate better to camera better than a straight camera actor can translate to theater.
Hmm.
And when you say you had it backwards, I don't think you had it backwards. I don't think you had it backwards. I think you were right with your assumption that theater, it's full body, it's on all the time, and it's just, honestly, the work in theater is so rewarding, because also you're living through the playwright.
Yeah.
You're living through all these greats. I mean, like, if you have the blessing to do a Chekhov play, or a Shakespeare play, and do it honest, and or a Sam Shepard play, or just, I mean, I can go on and on about these greats that paved the way to what realism acting is, what you see on camera nowadays. It's just to have the honor to honor that playwright, blessing to honor that playwright,
Yeah,
I should
yeah, yeah.
say.
You don't want to get up there and do a disservice to Stephen Sondheim or whoever.
Yeah. And not to say that you're not dishonoring the screenwriter, but there's a lot you don't cut and say, oh, let's change this line in a Chekhov play. You read it verbatim.
Yeah.
You read it as what it is. So I think that's one thing. You're honoring the playwright and their work,
Okay.
just from your, it's like history. You're truly living through the history of what that playwright was going through, and what the feelings he's trying to invoke, and how what he was experiencing at the time.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
back to the LA thing. You going out there now? Again, I know nothing about this. You're going out to LA, and is that more commercialized stuff? Commercialized meaning like more networky, more script to screen type stuff, as opposed to New York where you're doing more theater.
Yeah. Um, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I would love to continue theater in LA. It's just not, the culture and the community is not the same. Not saying there's not one in LA,
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not even too sure of how the community is in LA. I mean, I'm eager to see how it is,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I always wanted to move to LA. Um, I
Well,
moved to New York.
we got our boy Mr. Breyer out there. He makes good music.
Yeah, and I cannot wait to be hanging out with him and Ralph again. I mean, we hung
Oh
out when
yeah,
I went
Ralph
out
too. Yeah.
there. Yeah, I went out there to look at apartments and stuff, and we hung out for a couple days. So it was so good to see them because I haven't seen them in so long.
Yeah. You
But
know what I remember about all those guys is like you would make stupid little rap videos that were so funny. Do
oh
you remember
my
those?
god, yes,
I wish, honestly, I
yes.
might play one of those in the middle of this if it's still on YouTube. I think you had one line. You're like, "I'm the man with the plan, Cody Hively." I think that was
Oh,
one line.
so cringy, but yes, so cringy. Literally, it just makes my skin crawl thinking about it.
Well, I found some cringy content of myself the other day, so you're not alone, pal.
Yeah, I think it's with everyone. It comes, it comes with it. But oh man, I don't know. They were fun. They were fun while it happened. They were fun when we were doing it. We were literally 16, and I remember we were recording one of the songs at Briar's house, and it was like me, Briar, Mac.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of us there. Ralph was there, and no one would cuss. They'd always say "mother fudging" or
Yeah, yeah,
"spit."
yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah.
And Briar's like, Cody, just cuss, dude, just cuss. So I was like the first one to actually cuss on a Briar White track. And then
Woo!
his mom heard, and she's like, who is that? Is that Cody? And I remember like, oh, dude, Amy's gonna hate me now because I'm the first person to cuss on like a Briar White track. Like,
I remember that's right. It's Mother Fudgin' Mac White. I
yes,
remember that.
yes, yes.
But it's funny, I don't even know if you've realized this. It's like, you did all that funny stuff as a kid. You were the leader of the student section, always dressing up and stuff and making people do these skits and stuff like that. You were always a very creative guy, and maybe, on this journey you figured out your creative outlet is being an actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I
Because
remember,
from my perspective, whenever I heard that you're going to be an actor, I was like, okay, well that makes sense. He's always been like a character guy and a goofy guy, and
yeah.
not to say that you want to be a comedic actor, you're going to be a serious actor, but uh, yeah,
Oh
man, I
no,
think
no,
you've always
I'll
had
I'll
that.
be comedic too. I mean, I'm not limiting myself to anything. Honestly,
Yeah,
I think I'm goofier than I'm serious. I can play serious, but I I like to think it's just who I am. I'm a goofy dumbass, and
yeah, that'd just
I
be more
just
of a
have to
natural
accept that.
character.
Yeah, it's just very natural. I would just literally just be myself and just shit on myself and just like
Physically, he would literally do that, folks.
literally poop my pants on set
Yep.
and just make sure everyone smells it. Yeah, just like yeah. But no, I mean,
I could see you being here's in 2 years, and when this happens, I want that mailbox money. I want those residual checks. All right. So
okay.
in 2 years when this happens, whenever you're the featured funny man on a like a show, maybe for a few episodes, or maybe you're there for the whole season, and you're like the crazy like drug dealer friend, I want like those residuals because you're gonna be the goofy drug dealer friend on a sitcom, and I'll watch every episode of that.
I love it. I love it, and
You
I
have
would
you ever
be
watched The
honored.
League?
I haven't watched The League.
Oh, okay,
I
well then never
haven't.
mind. Then this
Okay.
reference is dead. But I was gonna say you're gonna be like Rafi from The League. You're gonna have to look that up.
Okay. I'll Google
Rafi from
after
The League.
this.
It's Jason Mantzoukas. You know who he is?
Jason Mantzoukas. Not Jason Sudeikis, but Jason Mantzoukas.
Jason Mantzoukas. He's in that
Hmm.
movie The House with Will Ferrell. He's in obviously he's in The League. He's in he plays Jay in Big Mouth.
Hmm.
Whatever. Dead air. All
Hmm.
right, moving on. Moving on to the next
Hmm.
one.
Hmm. While I'm googling it now.
So do you have
Um.
like what would you say like an outline would be like a 5-year plan in LA? Because I don't know, like I only know the comedic brain. I don't know the actor brain, and I'm sure they're very similar, but I don't know like what a 5-year plan is for an actor.
Yeah, I think a 5-year plan is fully supporting myself. Um, whether that be, I think a 5-year plan, honestly, maybe not a series regular, but I mean, yes, series regular would be ideal. 5 years, actually, no. So I think 5 years would be a series regular, or just a reoccurring
Yeah.
something where I'm established, where you watch a movie and you're like, oh, that guy was in whatever. I want to be that
Okay.
guy. I want to be
Yeah.
that guy. You just don't, you can't remember my name, but you're like, oh, yeah, yeah, I remember his face. So like when I go to the grocery store, not people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's Cody Hively." They're just like, "Oh, that he looks familiar," but that's it. You know, so I won't be bothered.
You're like, I don't, I've seen that guy somewhere, but I don't know where. Like, did I go to church with that guy? I don't remember him.
Was he in AA last week? Well, he
Yeah,
actually might have been in AA week. He might
yeah.
have been. No, no,
I,
yes, yeah. It's like that's just. I feel like that's when you made it. You know, when someone gives you a double take at Trader Joe's, and you're like, oh, they remember, they saw me in that show.
I don't
That's why
think,
they did that.
and the crazy thing is, like, nobody ever hates those guys though.
No,
Nobody ever hates. People will hate a main character or something like that. Nobody ever hates the series regular.
no,
Nobody.
definitely not. I mean, it's because well, okay, well, hold on. Series regular is like so a reoccurring is someone that's like maybe on like several episodes or comes in and out, but a series regular is like it's like a Joey Tribbiani. You know what I mean? That's
Oh,
like
okay, okay. I thought that'd be
so
a
yeah.
featured guy. Okay, I don't know how this works.
No, no, no. So like yeah. So a series regular that's television. Now movies is a little bit different. Like there's like the feature and then there's like the star, guest star. It's but yes, like I was talking television. Like there's a series regular, there's a reoccurring,
Okay.
and then the co-star is like maybe they also like kind of like reoccurring, but maybe on like an episode,
Yeah.
you know. And then there's like a day player who's like literally maybe a scene, you know.
Yeah. Man,
Um, yeah,
there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot more than meets the eye with the acting and stuff like that. Now, you're talking a lot of TV stuff. Are there any TV shows that maybe you go back to that whenever you're in a sort of a creative funk and you want to get inspired, you turn to those shows?
probably like Breaking Bad. And it's funny that you mentioned like the funny drug dealer, even though I don't think Jesse Pinkman's very funny. I mean, he's funny, but you know, I think Breaking Bad is something that is just television gold. I
Yeah,
mean,
I got
Bryan
to be honest with you,
Cranston.
guy. Never saw it.
Oh, well, okay. So here's some more Dead Space now.
No, you
I'm
can
kidding.
talk about it, but it's like it's funny that I've like
Wow.
all these shows and movies when everybody zigs, I just zag. Like I just don't like to watch, and I don't mean to be a contrarian. It just happens naturally.
No, that's fine. I mean, it's you know, I think one day you should sit down and take the time to watch it. I think
Like
it's
I never saw Avatar.
like the movie,
Yeah, and I also never watched Avatar Airbender for what it's worth, but I never watched Avatar the Blue Guy movie. Never saw that.
the blue people, the
Yeah.
blue, like I don't even know. They look like
What
they
would you
remind me of
say?
like
Okay, since you are this refined actor and you know all
refined.
everything about cinema, what are some like movies then that maybe you've missed the boat on? Like
Oh
what
my
is something
god, dude.
you've
There's
yet
so
to get
many.
into?
There's so many, bro. I don't know. Oh, I feel like every time I talk to someone, they're like, "Oh, have you watched this?" And I'm like, "No." "Have you seen this movie?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "You what? You haven't? You want to be an actor and you haven't seen this movie?" Or, you know? And I'm like, dude, I just wanted to become an actor. When I was a kid, I didn't watch a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I've there's a lot of things I miss. I feel like I've like from like 1990 to like 2010. There's a lot of stuff I missed because like as soon as I started like to like become an actor, I watched like the top 100 performances or the top 100 just best movies that you know are what people like the
Yeah,
critics
yeah, yeah.
consider the
The list and
best. You
stuff. Yeah.
know, um, yeah, I feel like there's so many. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of a crazy one I haven't seen. Oh, I haven't seen what's the one with Angelina Jolie where they curve the bullet?
Wanted? That's bad
Yeah,
though. That one sucks.
yeah. Well, that was someone was like, you haven't seen Wanted. I'm like, no, I haven't seen fucking Wanted. It
Did this
probably
guy
is
also have an affliction shirt on?
probably I can't remember even who I can't even remember who
That movie
was like
stinks.
mad I didn't see it. It probably did stink. A lot of my friends stink. Not you, Franklin. You smell great.
I do smell great, and
You
it's
stay
because I'm a
fresh.
huge germaphobe. And that also brings us to this point: Degree deodorant. Degree deodorant has agreed to give me one free deodorant stick. Actually, it just came in an Amazon order I had, and I'm considering that a sponsorship. So Degree, I like the one with the aqua lettering. I think it's called Cool Rush. Smells good. All right,
Mm.
and back to I'm
Uh,
surprised you didn't say I know your favorite show of all time. It's so funny that you don't know I know your favorite show of all time. You've never tweeted about this, you've never posted about this, you've never said anything about this, but I know for a fact from like 2006, 2008 or 9, I know this was your favorite show. okay? Because I know the type of guy you are.
Okay.
Your favorite
Okay.
show was Robin Big.
Yes, man. You're like Noir for the rappers. You remember, or what's his name? The one guy that wears like the cool golf hat, and he brings up like crazy things about their past, and they're all the rappers like,
Oh, yeah,
man,
yeah,
what the
yeah.
fuck? Like,
Yeah, the
how
guy
do you know that? You
yeah,
know, how you know that shit?
the guy that, gave, like, Tyler, the Creator, like, some weird gift or something like that.
Yeah, he goes doot 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 doot, and then I'm like, don't do it. He just keeps doing it.
Yeah,
Like,
I
yeah.
know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, but I like well, I mean, like, I think I have a pretty good judge of character, and I think, of that and, like, we've been friends since we were kids, it's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah, we know each other. We know each other
But
very
but
well.
I have Robin Big season 3 on DVD with the, it has, like, them doing commentary over it. It is so funny, bro. I need seasons 1 and
Oh,
2, so if anyone knows where I can find that for cheaper than what it's on the internet, let me know because I need it bad.
well, probably Pirate Bay, but let's not talk about that. FBI, leave us alone.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Me neither. I don't even know what I said. It
Yeah,
just
what
came out of
even
my mouth.
are those words? Pirate
I,
Bay.
could, I
Okay.
think I was just blubbering. I don't know.
Robin Big, and I stopped watching Fantasy Factory like in the middle seasons. You know
Dude,
what
you
I
know what
mean?
breaks my heart about all of it though?
Big is
It
dead.
literally broke my. Well, yes, Big is dead, but they weren't. And this broke my heart when I found this out, Franklin. So for like the longest of time on Fantasy Fact, well, in Ron Big, definitely, they weren't good friends. Did you know that?
I knew there was a riff, but I thought they were friends on Robin Big, and then the reason it ended is because they stopped being friends, and then maybe they rekindled a friendship, and that's why he came back.
So it was, yes, they rekindled on Fantasy Factory, but for a lot of like season one, season two, like they were good pals. But as like the seasons came on, like
Of Robin Big?
yeah, Robin Big was actually like jealous, um, of like Rob's fame, and he felt like Rob wasn't really like he felt like the show it's Robin Big, it's not Rob, and that was
That's a
Big's
good
big thing.
point. That's a good point.
And
But
but
to be
Rob wasn't having it because Rob's like, because you know how Rob is. Like I love Rob Dyrdek. I think he is a visionary entrepreneur. Like he
yeah,
made something. He was a professional skater. He wasn't like one of the best skaters, but he took advantage of his opportunities and went for them and made it.
yeah,
But it just really broke my heart when I found that out. But they did rekindle it on Fantasy Factory. It's but yeah, like when I found that out, like I always thought like, man, like that's a friendship I want to have, like
yeah. Well, I mean, again, I love Robin Big, and then what was? Oh my god, I'm trying to think of that one episode with the mini horse or something like that. Oh, they go to the they go on like a trip to somewhere in California, and they like try to race these mini horses, or like they have that mini horse in the show, and it just does terrible or whatever.
oh
Dude, there's
yeah,
so many
like
classic
the
episodes.
mini horse showmanship. Yeah, like it's like a pageant for mini horses.
Yes. I have a list of episodes right here. I'm trying to think of my favorite ones. The Guinness World Record episode was crazy.
Oh, dude, that was such a good one.
Were you ever one of those kids that got into skateboarding because of this?
Oh well, yeah, 100%. I mean, I
Oh,
got into skateboarding because of Viva La Bam and Rob Beater. I
no,
mean,
yeah.
that's solely what it was. I mostly Viva La Bam. I was a dude in like fifth and sixth grade that wore like the triple spike pyramid belt and like had like the leather spike bracelets, and I wore like audio skateboard shoes, baggy ass jeans, and an Element shirt. And I couldn't,
DC
I could,
hat.
and I could barely ollie. That was me when I was like 12.
Thank God my parents never let me buy skate shoes. I think that
Well,
one summer
thank God your parents loved you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah, well, my therapist knows otherwise. But the thing is, there was that one summer. It was like X Games going on, Bob Burnquist and stuff like that doing tricks, and like I'm on my little carport area, just going back and forth on my skateboard, just pushing myself from wall to wall, and I'm doing it, like I'm skateboarding. I had the big knee pads and everything. That's the extent of my skateboarding ability. I had an element skateboard, and that's it.
But that was the excitement about skateboarding. There's no competition. It's solely based on you. So you work to get better. And you have to know, with a lot of pro action sports, you're gonna eat a lot of shit until you get better.
Yeah,
It's with all of them. I mean, I definitely uh, appreciate that I skateboarded at a young age because I remember like when I landed my first kickflip outside my grandma's house and my buddy Tommy was recording on his like mold or the razor or whatever he had. I don't think it was a razor. I think it was still like a Nokia. No, it wasn't Nokia. I think it was like a razor.
Yeah.
But they had like the slow mo and it was just like the super horrible like 1 frame per 5 second slow
Pixelated. You
mo.
look like an
Yeah.
8-bit character. Yeah.
But I remember looking back, we were like, man, I just landed my first kickflip. Like, like we did it like right in the street. I wasn't moving. I was like
Yeah,
just
I'm gonna
standing
get
there. But
laid.
yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna get a kiss on the cheek tomorrow at school. 100%.
Oh man. Do you remember that one episode of Fancy Factory where our boy John Mayer was in it?
Mm-hmm.
And they
When
sang
they
that,
faked the whole thing about Rob Dyrdek being drunk,
which was like,
and then all the TMZ like ate it up, and they were like, Rob was actually fucked up, and then like his mom was super mad. Okay, let's talk. You talk about it. I
no,
know the whole
you were going off, man. I'm
thing.
right there with you. I think that was a great bit to fake being drunk. If I were ever in this scenario or the situation where the press was hounding me all day, I would make scenarios up so much and just toy with them all day. And I know
Oh
it's like a
yeah.
losing battle, but it's just fun. Like it'd be fun for me to do that.
Oh yeah. You remember the jingle? You remember it?
Rob's mom,
Rob's mom.
there
We're
it
in
is.
a sticky situation. Rob's mom.
Yeah,
Mom,
yeah.
mom, 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 mom.
I like
Dude, oh.
there's this one part, and I could probably find the clip, I might put it up, but, like, it goes from John Mayer singing, singer-songwriter, six-time Grammy winner, John Mayer,
Yeah.
whatever, and then it goes to Rob, and everybody's face in it is just like, "What is happening right now, bro?" They're just genuinely
Oh
shocked.
yes. Oh yes, I remember that because they like didn't they like have like a view? They had like a viewing for it, right, or something. They had like a party to like
Or
show the song
they
off.
sent it to, like, Rob's mom and, like, had her, like, listen to it while they were sitting there, I know that much.
Oh yeah, dude, I remember that contrast strictly too. I mean, like, dude, John Mayer's voice is just like velvet, and then you get Rob
Oh, yeah.
Dyrdek's is like concrete or like gravel, you know.
It's concrete. Just like concrete.
Not the high grade concrete either, like not the one you skate on, like the one like you're like, oh, I guess I'll pave my driveway, and you just pick the shittiest concrete. Like that's
It's
what
the
Rob Dyrdek's
concrete that
is.
people put like their hands of like and their dog's footprints in to like mark a spot. It's just really bad. It's what's left over. Oh, we'll put our
Yeah,
baby's footprints in it. It'll be cute. And then we move out, and now there's a random baby's footprints and our right beside our pool.
yeah, exactly,
It's really it.
exactly.
I love that episode. I don't really remember much about Fantasy Factory. I remember watching the first season religiously and maybe the second season, and then that's it. But I just remember the John Mayer episode because you and I are both big John Mayer fans, and we tried to talk about this in a
Mhm.
bar, and it didn't work because
Mhm.
it's just loud and in a bar, and it was karaoke night, and some guy was doing a bad rendition of Gravity while we were chatting it up.
That's what brought it up. That's what brought it
No,
up.
I was just made that up.
Oh, well, that shows how drunk I was.
No, you weren't hammered. We were able to
Dude,
have
I don't know.
we were able to have a normal conversation. You talk
I'm
about
really good at that. When I'm hammered, I can just act like a normal person, and it scares me. It
the
scares me because it
the
gets me
thing
in a
with
lot of
me,
trouble.
it's like anytime I drink at all, it's like I'm like quiet. Like I don't say words.
I talk more. And
Well,
I'm
no, I'm
even
just like
worse.
I know the state I'm in is an altered state, and I don't want to do anything stupid or say anything dumb. That's why I don't. I've never,
Oh,
I've
interesting.
never drank anything before I went on stage. Never drank anything before I did any podcast or anything like that. Never.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Speaking well, I've took like a shot of vodka, like while the podcast was happening.
That's
No,
funny.
I mean I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm
Oh
not
wait,
an
did you really,
alcoholic.
or was that a bit?
Um,
Oh God.
no.
Hey, you know what? Sobriety
uh,
starts tomorrow. Okay, one day at a time.
tomorrow.
We've been
No.
me and my buddy, we'll call him Joe, have been sending this like anytime we think about slipping up or doing something bad, or maybe sending like a DM to a girl that we know we shouldn't, or maybe doing whatever. It's just like we send this Batman meme to each other. Actually, I think we send it after we do something stupid, like send a text to an ex after drinking or something like that. It's the scene. I think it's in Batman Begins,
Mhm.
and Alfred is sitting there in the Batcave with Bruce, and he goes, "Why do we fall, sir?" And he goes, "Why? So we can learn to pick ourselves up." We send that back to each other after we fall. Somebody texts an ex, "Oh, I miss you so much, baby. Please. Why do we
Oh.
fall, sir? Why do we fall?" That's what we do.
Oh, that's gold. That is
Going
that
back
is
to
so funny.
we got like 10 minutes left here. We got to talk about John Mayer some since we're such big fans.
Let's do it.
I'm staring at one, two, three, four, five vinyl albums of John Mayer, and I think that's a borderline obsession, but I don't mean it to be. It's just when I find something or someone I'm interested in, I have to know everything about it. I'm sure you're the same way. When did you get into John Mayer's music?
I got into John Mayer, I think, definitely in high school. Um,
Yeah. Was it the
and
Rob Dyrdek episode that really like did that do anything?
you know what? It probably definitely did. I'm sure it did. I mean, I can't call it now, but I'm sure it was. I just remember in college was when I really like fell in love with him and his music.
That's
Fell in love
cute.
with John Mayer. No, um, I just think that um, I relate to a lot of his music,
Yeah.
and I think it's the biggest thing, with an artist is how you relate to them, and um, you know, it's, I mean, a lot of his music is pretty depressing if you listen to the lyrics,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But I
I
mean,
think I think it's so funny because I know like 6, 7 guys that are also John Mayer fans, and they're all like us, handsome guys who are artistic, and
yeah.
we like women. We don't care who knows that. And whenever one of them breaks our heart because of something stupid we did, and we like to blame it on them,
It's
we
their fault,
it's their fault,
100%.
and we turn to John Mayer's music, and it's so funny. I just had this like this epiphany that's like I know like 6 or 7 John Mayer fans, all handsome guys who like women, and whenever one of them breaks their heart because they do something dumb, it's their fault.
Yeah, it's like a good music to cope with because like it makes you feel like you're the innocent one, even
But
though
in
you're probably
reality,
not.
but in
You're
reality,
probably not.
oh,
You're
that is on me. I put my hand up
yeah.
on that one.
It makes you feel like like it definitely wasn't me. It was her.
Dude, he's like, dude, listening to John Mayer's music is like listening to a therapist that's like bad, just a bad therapist.
They're just on your side the whole time about
The
every
whole
scenario.
time. And the scary thing is about therapy, dude, I actually just came like when I called you, I was coming home from therapy. Uh
Uh-huh.
my therapist told me today, he goes, "You're a very intelligent young man and you're very you're very intellectual and you have a great like feel for your surroundings, like talking about like society as a whole. I'm in touch with reality and everything." And I'm
Hmm.
like, "Oh my god, I it turns out I've actually never been wrong about any of my thoughts or anything that I've ever said. It turns out I'm
Yeah.
right every time," which really doesn't help because I feel like John Mayer had that spell whenever he was like, "Oh, I'm right every time."
Oh yeah, when he was like dating like every like
When he was a complete jerk, and that's when I didn't like him.
yeah.
And I got to preface this by saying I'm like a new fan. I'm still in college with John Mayer. I got a fan of him in 2019, became a fan. So I'm new.
Well, I feel like you've the in-depth, like from the conversation we had at the bar, I feel like you've definitely done your research. I mean, yeah, he was definitely like there's no doubt he was a full-blown womanizer.
Yeah, I have no
And
desire to do that. Yeah, that's
no, me neither. It's just I think that his music didn't convey that. He was like we just said, he none of that was conveyed in his music. I mean, it's we just take his music. I honestly one of the biggest things I just think his sounds. I think his dude. Here's the thing:
I
you
just love
can't be a
hearing him rip the
womanizer if you
guitar up.
can't shred on a guitar.
Yeah.
It just goes hand in hand. You're not a womanizer unless you can play like any chord by ear.
Yeah. Or make any sound you want. He does these shows with Chappelle because apparently he's like a comedic genius too. And like Chappelle will say something, "Y'all ever hear something do this?" And John will just make the sound on the guitar somehow. It's crazy. Or he'll talk with it.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be a dream one to see. I remember that they went on tour together, right? Is that what it
Uh,
was?
I don't know if it was a full blown tour, but I know they played shows.
Yeah, they had shows. Dude, can you imagine going to a Dave Chappelle, John Mayer show?
No, I couldn't, and I wish I could.
Oh, Oh my god.
I need to see both those guys. Chappelle just did a little spot at the Stand in New York the other night. I think Andrew Yang come out. Saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, a couple of my comedy buddies were there too. Yeah, they had some selfies with them. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was that. So it wasn't at the Cellar. It was at where?
I thought it was at the Stand, but it could have been at the Cellar. Do you? You talked about that one guy named Matt, who I don't know. I follow him. He's really funny. I've never talked to him. I want to get him on the show. Do you have any other like comedy friends that you remember from your mic time to hit mic in New York that have like gotten some notoriety or maybe like blown up a little bit?
Yeah, I remember Usama Siddiqui.
Oh yeah, man.
He definitely won't remember me, but he was always super cool. And because like the thing about open mics, a lot of comics, like, they're just not paying attention, and it's a tough audience.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
if you have a good punchline, Usama genuinely, like, pays attention to your set.
Yeah,
Like, and he doesn't laugh to like encourage you, but he laughs if you have something that's gonna go somewhere.
yeah,
If you have something to work on, like, he'll give you a laugh, and I really appreciate that about him. And I think that was another humbling thing to see is I was at an open mic, and you watch a guy like Usama bomb, and you were like, okay, I could do this. Like, it's like everyone bombs. It's
yeah,
not
man.
it's not just no one is just perfect. I mean, like, Dave Chappelle talked about how his first set he did very well, but then, like, his next set he just completely bombed.
Yeah, and I think
And
that's the last time Chappelle ever bombed.
yeah, that was the last time ever. He learned his lesson.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just think that was like a humbling experience, is to watch him. And he still has a great podcast too. It's Mango Bay, and it's with him and
yeah.
Pranav. I'm butchering his name, but
I
he's
follow
also very
I follow
hilarious.
Osama on the Instagram, and we actually were on the same lineup card. We were both going to be on the same Zoom gig, and then he got a paying gig right before the Zoom gig started and had to dip out. Otherwise, I would have done a show with Usama, and I did not.
That would have been awesome. Yeah,
That would
he's
have
a
been
super
really
cool
cool.
dude, very friendly, and because there's a lot of comics that are douches. I mean, obviously, it's with any industry, but
Especially entertainment.
especially,
Yeah.
especially,
That's the
there's a
problem
lot
with
of
me is
egos.
like I'm like not to revert it back to me, but I'm such a genuine guy and like I'm an open book and I cannot stand deceitfulness and lies and there's just so much of that in the industry that we're striving to be professionals in. It's
Yeah,
disheartening.
yeah. I mean, that's a thing I struggle with too a lot, especially just like
Because I want to take everything
mingling.
everybody says
And
at face value. Like I want
but
it
you
to be
can't,
real.
yeah. And it's just it sucks. And that's just like a hard lesson that I'm still learning, and who knows if I'll ever learn it. I just it's like it's almost like you don't want to play all your cards, because if you play all your cards, then the person that you think that might be an ally turns into an enemy, and it's unfortunate. I mean, that's just how the industry works.
Yeah. I've made some decent friends, some decent amount of friends so far doing the show and interviewing comics and stuff like that. Excited. I think I'm about to be on year 3. Year 2 ends in May, so I'm very curious to see what the outlook is there with my show, and I'm curious to see what happens for you and your move to LA. I wish you nothing but the utmost success, and I know you'll do great things and make our fair city proud. And
I
it'll be
appreciate
fun
that.
whenever we both successful in our industries and one day where our paths cross and we work on our project together and everyone's like, oh, those two guys are from the same place.
Yes, and I look forward to that. That's what I live for, Franklin. I live for working with friends, because that's when I get the most joy out of it.
Whenever you start making movies of your own, can you like put me in there as one of like Adam Sandler friends type guy?
Oh, you have a role,
Heck yes.
guaranteed. You
I
have
want
a
to be the
role.
cross-eyed guy. That's what I want to
If that's what you want, yeah. I mean, I'll write you a role with a cross-eyed guy. I will be like, Franklin, I got a guy. I got a guy. I'll be like, who's gonna play the cross-eyed guy? I'm like, I have a guy.
be.
Trust me, I got a guy.
I got a guy who's been preparing for this cross-eyed role his whole life.
Years. This dude's been in character for years.
Making it seem like I'm actually cross-eyed. Oh
No,
my
no,
god.
no, no.
We need a big nose, ethically ambiguous guy.
Uh,
I'm on it. All right.
Boom, instant. I got his number.
Is there anything you'd like to leave the people with, my friend? Any words of wisdom or any projects you have upcoming?
um, Hey, no, not really. I mean, just I think just do what makes you happy. This world's so crazy, and you don't know when it's going to end. I mean, there's so much shit that's
Jesus
going on that
Christ.
What did I take it just a different way? Did
Yeah,
I take
yeah.
it somewhere else?
Well, the impending doom of this world is approaching, so get right with the Lord. That's what you
We could
sound
die
like.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Enjoy today. The second
Oh,
coming of Christ is among us.
jeez. Now you sound like you're about to be at The Rock or whatever. Okay, well, I just lost 10 viewers. Um All right. I'm actually
Oh,
in therapy for religious trauma. It's funny. It's no big deal.
I need to be.
I mean, dude, bro, did you ever go to church camp as a kid?
Dude, thank God I missed that trauma. But I have a lot of friends that went and experienced that to the fullest.
I didn't. I thought, and here I am, idiot me. I thought an 8-year-old, like, on his knees in the gravel, reaching for the heavens, crying because he just got told he's going to hell, was normal. I thought that was a normal thing,
Oh my God.
and it's not.
No. No, it's definitely not. I mean, yeah. Oh, that's that is tough. I'm sorry I had to go through that. That honestly, that is
Oh,
true.
man, I
Like,
had so many stories. I had, one time my youth pastor told me a kid got possessed at a church camp and, like, flipped up on his head and, like, said, like, he held a knife to his own neck because the demon, took a control of his body, and all the pastors went around the house and, like, prayed for the demon to leave. Like, bro, people, like, just spreading deceitfulness and lies.
oh, dude, that
I
just
slept with the
freaks me
light
out.
on for, like, a month because I thought a demon was gonna possess me. I slept with a cross necklace on. It was bad.
Had to like walk around your room with sage, just
Yeah, I was
every night. You
blessing
just
my
had like a
room.
barrel of sage beside your bed. You just like you smoked it every night just to make sure.
I would read the Bible and like, dude, just so much weird stuff that I
Just chug
did.
a glass of holy water before you go to bed
Oh,
just
I
to
would
make sure.
bathe in it. I would bathe in that stuff. I'd baptize myself in the waters.
Yeah, you just baptize yourself every night just to be safe.
And now because of COVID, I baptize myself in Purell, and then I go to sleep peacefully because I'm also in therapy for being a germaphobe. But I'm working through it. I'm working through it.
That's what we like to hear.
But thanks for stopping by, man. Always a pleasure talking to you. I'm sure we'll get out and play some golf before you head out.
Absolutely, man. It's been great. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. We'll see you.